Such simple minds. Have a taste of our nightmares. Want to know a secret? Your mind is our plaything. Listen closely. The infinite speaks. Come join us, insignificant one. Come join us, insignificant one. Yes, submit. What have you done to me? Yes, submit. You are nothing to our multitudes. Begone. This will only hurt for a moment. Join us and ascend to greatness. We want you inside us. Shh. Relax. Surrender yourself to the infinite. Why must you struggle? Soon you will never be alone again. What could make this better? Oh, right. More of us. A little help? We are never alone. Had enough of us? How about a little more? Perhaps a change of tactics is in order. So few of you, so many of us. Hardly seems fair, does it? Oh, don't surrender just yet. We've more to show you. We are just getting started. You're going to have to kill all of us. The pain only makes us stronger. No! Not like this! We were so close! That's it. Bleed for us. Yield your flesh. The mind will follow. That was just luck! Impudent wretch! Try that again. We dare you! Come, give us a warm embrace. How is this even possible? This civil war is nearly over, and Ironhearth is vulnerable. That simpleton Ash is no doubt sobbing in his porridge over the soldiers we've killed. You've made quite the name for yourself. No longer the simpering Fatefinder, but an Archon. We couldn't be more pleased. Outrageous little whelp! After all we've given you, and all we promised, you would supplant us? We couldn't be more proud. What an annoyance you turned out to be. Tunon's court has a long history of regurgitating only the most insufferable, conceited agents. You are no exception. And you won't be the first we've dispatched. No, we don't doubt it for a second. Be vigilant as you witness the downfall of that braggart Archon and his straw soldiers. Your accounting should prove a diversion worthy of the ages. Come to us then. We are Legion, and you cannot stand against us all. Word of Ash's downfall has reached our ears, our ears. The implications of this culling can't have escaped you. Only one Archon may rule the tiers, and you are nothing if not one of us. You understand what must happen next. You think to stand against us in our own court? We have innumerable mobs at our disposal, and we are prepared to hurl every last one of them at you like a spear of flesh and bone. A budding Archon and servant of the court wishes to bend the knee before our magnificence? What a fascinating turn. What a fascinating turn. Turn! And with the downfall of Graven Ash, the children of the North threw up their hands and cried of their unending sorrow. Ah, it's you! We were drafting our memoirs of the Civil War's end. We'll be sure to mention your contribution in the footnotes. Not that anyone will read them. What an annoyance you turned out to be. Tunon's court has a long history of regurgitating only the most insufferable, conceited agents. You are no exception, and you won't be the first we've dispatched. Joyous news, Archon! Which of your vibrant and delectable friends will be joining us? Come, gather around and watch us destroy the Fatebinder. Once Ash has been dealt with, you may return to Cacophony and take your reward. Loyalty as true as yours is worthy of nothing less than the highest honor. A careless mouth can be the death of you, oh so powerful one. But in this case, we find it charming. In response to your question, naturally, there is no higher honor than joining us in the green incandescence. Why not add your voice to our own? Together, we can be splendid indeed. By all means, be on your way, but weigh the offer. You won't find a better one. And you think the Horde will follow you that easily? 1,000 howling mobs will rally around a fledgling Archon whose power and deception belies mediocrity? The only vermin you'll find here are those who think themselves above their betters. You cannot hope to stand against us, but we will not begrudge you for trying. But you didn't come to discuss history. Kairos' decree looms over our heads and cannot be ignored. Now that you've whetted your appetite on the Archon of War, we hope you're still hungry for a challenge. Your campaign ends here, maggot of unreason. We have no intention of joining the uncounted corpses littered in your path. For all the fealty to the disfavored, has the Archon of War ever set you above his northern inbreds? No. He would have sacrificed you 10 times over to save some brain-dead grunt from stubbing his toe. Your love for these southern mongrels was a fool's errand. We would have conscripted them into service and given them lives under Kairos. You only forestall their doom with your rebellious game. We love to see an agent of the court shatter their bonds and declare their sovereignty, but you would have been better served wearing red. The gangs need more talent like yours. At least we can make an example of you that others will remember. If you only knew. We are the capstone of the Empire, the intellect behind the monotonous laws, the blade pressed on every throat. You are nothing. We love a good verbal sparring, but the time for obscenity is past. Fatebinder of reeking discharge. Attend to us, darlings! There is more than one way to skin a Fatebinder, and we will show you as many as possible. We could have been magnificent together, but instead, we will have your bones fashioned into a scepter, your skin knotted into a belt, and your tongue fed to crows. At least crows know the meaning of respect and gratitude. Ah, that was magnificent! Oh, we have never felt more alive, more vibrant, more delightfully well-rounded. And you, Archon, you have appeased us as your new lord and master, yes? You deserve a reward, in proportion to your sacrifice. Your reward shall be prized above all, a token so rare and worthy that not even we shall ever possess it. Archon, Fatebinder, whatever you call yourself these days, we would have an answer. Are you prepared to make a sacrifice unto us? Or should we flay your skin and stretch your living nerves from one spire to the next? Our dear Archon, you don't have any time at all. But we will humor your little play. Go, search your morals for justification. Go and find someone who displeases you if you must. But return to us prepared to make adult choices. No gesture of fealty is complete without its offering. No rings or promises will do, no. The offering must be made. Sacrifice before us. A sacrifice, he said. And a sacrifice we meant. Those who travel with you, one of them must be delivered to us as a gesture of good faith. Good faith, we say. What happens to them is none of your concern, save that it is the price of your supplication. If you are indeed an Archon, you should value them as tools alone, made for your use and disposal. Bring us one of your travel companions, someone you cherish, someone you admire, or even love. Any will do in our eyes. Pitiable is he who walks the world without friends, and yet we are unswayed. These are the terms of your supplication. Pitiable is she who walks the world without friends, and yet we are unswayed. These are the terms of your supplication. What are you muttering about? If it's anything other than goodbye and thank you for your service, we will be most displeased. We can't have you staring into space in the final hour of your disobedience. If you will supplicate, you will do so with a fitting sacrifice. Sacrifice. Sacrifice! Jubilation cannot be expressed in mere words. Though sometimes we think we will miss the old man. Then we rebuke ourselves for being too sentimental. It's our worst failing. Frivolity aside, the matter of Kairos' decree still looms overhead. There can be no peace until the Overlord is satisfied. Death, we think. A finer, more deserving reward we could never fathom. Treasure it for all time. A tricky Fatebinder appeals to our broad and expansive ego. But we are nothing if not receptive to a kind word given in earnest. Lies! Lies! We have peeled back the veil, and your every malfeasance and improper speech is laid bare before our eyes. Your effort was not lacking, only your execution. Perhaps we should start from the beginning. The beginning. It would appear even we have not seen all the ways this might unfold. Well played, Archon. It is a rare treat when we are actually taken by surprise. Your mind will go nicely with our collection. You would bend the very laws of Kairos against me? Oh, Archon. Just how rapacious do you take us to be? We merely demand tribute, a sign that you are bowed and humbled. And if we are to work together, how better for us to know the true you? At last we know how far we can corner this rat before it bares its teeth. Your bravado is cute. It really is. It's like you're all grown up. Now seriously, obey your rightful lord. Show us you can play nice. Then I go with a measure of peace. Thank you. Oh, your wrath and ambition is just adorable. Really it is. So too is your stupidity. We have been conquering kingdoms since before your great-grandparents fested in the womb. You will bow to us, child, and you will know your place. When the orders involve slaughtering our rivals, then yes, we do. So young, so naive. The Overlord's demand is a blessing, not a burden. It is an invitation for the strongest to rule the world, undivided, undivided, undivided! You will stand by our side as our second. So long as you play by our simple rules, you can have all of Tyranny. At least, the parts we aren't using. Did we ever force you to help us? We can make whatever demands we so choose. What's next? An appeal to fairness? We knew your loyalty was a farce. Think of it as a union, a betrothal, a binding of our... Oh, that's too obvious. A way for us to know you better. Much better, much better. We find you a most brilliant, cunning gem of a creature. All the more reason we need to have some insight and understanding of your sprawling talents, if we are to cement an alliance. It is exactly the same. And if your vassals will not follow you willingly into destruction, you cannot inspire loyalty, and you have no place in our chorus. Oh, don't be naive. We're past that. They will join us, become one of our many voices, the choir leading the chorus. Your loyal followers will be immortalized within our genius. They will more than survive. They will... live on! Live on! Live on! Only you would hear an offer of eternal life and wisdom and spit upon it. Choose one to join us, or we will claim the minds of every pawn you pretend to hold dear. Are we negotiating? Did one of us repeat ourselves? We have thousands of lesser minds available for the taking. Do not insult us with empty gifts. How much blood is on your hands, Archon? Are you suddenly growing soft and sentimental? Here and now, during what ought to be a joyous dawning? Our little spy is right about one thing, you know. You're going to die, screaming. But your awareness will live for eternity, suffering within our magnificence. Our little spy is right about one thing, you know. You're going to die, screaming. But your awareness will live for eternity, suffering within our magnificence. It's true, we promise. You delightful little surprise. We've had our fun, haven't we? But all good things have their end. We applaud you. You have the strength to visit horrors upon your enemies. But we enjoyed that so. Such promise. Such potential. I only wish. Approach us, you insignificant little morsel. We would have a word with you. You've defeated us, but Kairos is coming. The armies of the North march on the tiers to claim your magnificent head. There is nothing you can do. Taking the offensive, are we? You'll need more than harsh language to give Kairos pause. We would offer a suggestion, but secrets are pouring from our memory like ichor. We believe you will, but you'll need something more. Something convincing. A first strike against the Overlord. It needs spectacle. Don't mind our flair for the dramatic. We were an artist before we were an Archon. Oh, you're sick of our voices by now. We've exhausted ourselves and everyone around us with our schemes. Were we at top form, we would want a demonstration. Something extravagant, full of wonder. Did you think we could not make ourselves heard if we wished it, you naive and despicable fledgling? Whatever the thoughtless rabble may whisper about this moment, don't delude yourself into thinking you are powerful, that you matter, or that someone out there isn't greater still. We came from nothing. Our deeds defined us to the people, and the people knew us as a monster. Did you imagine we were always flames, voices, and secrets? Think on that, you Archon of misguided decisions. Have it your way. Enjoy the luxury of strolling from everything we built, as if it were so many sticks knotted together with blades of grass. At least you know the value of good advice. That will take you farther than any beaten trail, and it will bite deeper than any crude weapon of iron. Couldn't you? How much you've changed since this war began. Imagine if you subjected that same pressure to centuries of time. We don't have to wonder, but you do. You have all the time in the world. We applaud you. You have the strength to visit horrors upon your enemies. But we enjoyed that so. Such promise. Such potential. I only wish. Oh, you're so young. We can forgive you for being stupid. Without your Archon of stone to bring down those walls, you're out of your element. Only the chorus has the numbers required to swarm the walls from all sides. We will lead the vanguard of this battle. With whom do you stand? Our beloved chorus! We have too many lives to protect. We can't allow your foolish decision to destroy us all! A wise choice! The Scarlet Chorus will be honored to silence the last of the Vendrian Guard insult. Graven Ash, we hereby order you to stand down and remain here at camp until we have secured the Citadel. Yes, what did become of that? We should know already, yet we do not. If we are not mistaken, the Fatebinder played a pivotal role in this operation. Fifth Eye, shed light on this baffling question. Nothing. Curse you, motherless fucks! What have you brought but fire and You did what? A most wise judgment, good Fatebinder. The Oathbreaker Captain will no doubt provide hours of entertainment, and perhaps even some usable information. Kairos' Day of Swords approaches, and our allies in the disfavored in the court refuse to work with us. There is clearly only one reason for this. Graven Ash and Tunon have allied against us. You conspire to rob us of our deserved glory. Nothing would please us more than to be done with this wretched valley. Perhaps if we had more support from the disfavored, and from the court. A shame, as no doubt she had much to teach us. Had we been present, we could have subdued her with some simple cantrip. But we understand. You aren't nearly as powerful or capable as we. Your failure is understandable. Sophistry becomes you, Fatebinder. But we think the disfavored were sent to learn from our example. What other reason would the Overlord have for slowing us down with such a burdensome ally? Oh, if our mannerisms offend your sensibilities, dear Fatebinder, then good. We do not want or need your love. You mean the Scarlet Chorus should lead the charge? Over 2/3 of your legion remains trapped outside the valley. Only the Chorus can bring to bear the strength and numbers this assault requires. You will do as we order. You are not to take orders from this addled ponce. You dare call the Chorus inept? Well, that's a half-truth at best. So it is our agents who are shamelessly vomiting lies into the laps of their allies, and not you. Our apologies. How kind of you to clear that up. Us? Never. How else will we keep each other at the top of our crafts? Oh, suffering doesn't really capture the nuance of what we've done. Apologies. We've been savoring this one's defiance. We know much of their inner workings, their desperate allies, their foolish hopes. This is our battle to lose.
Enough! If these are my allies, why bother with the enemy? Even the low-born Oathbreakers have the honor and decency to...
Kairos' Day of Swords approaches, and our allies in the disfavored in the court refuse to work with us. There is clearly only one reason for this. Graven Ash and Tunon have allied against us. You conspire to rob us of our deserved glory. We were worried you'd never make it. So glad that Drostus' demise didn't cause further delay. Once again, you bring us support in a time of need. We fondly remember your service to the chorus in the taking of the Bastard City. We knew back then you were destined for great things. But we had not anticipated you would be twice honored with the task of proclamation. So, do not keep us waiting. What is the Overlord's will? My dear Binder, we won't be done bickering until the last of Ash's hair falls out. We'll pause for you to read your little missive. Go on, don't keep us all in suspense. It would seem the honor is all yours. So, you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? The baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter. Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last, we shall have it. Once we've secured the outer ring of the valley, we will meet again to discuss who takes the well.
Our river was to be the bulwark, but with the tidecasters slain, what hope remains? It's so cold in here. Help me, please.
Cowards! If I were still alive, I'd freeze the blood as it runs in your veins. You may take the river, but you'll pay for it with your lives.
Our sources tell us the Oathbreakers had some sort of magical trick in store. But this knowledge is tinged with fear, trepidation. If we make a move for the Mitanni, we suspect the Oathbreakers will mount a counterattack that is equal parts valiant and futile. That was Mitanni Yanev, former noble of Apex and one of the leaders of the Vendrian Guard. Back when they were half-respectable enemies that knew how to lose with dignity. When the Guard first surrendered, Yanev presented himself to us. What he knew, we now know. Good ear, young Fatebinder. When the Vendrian Guard surrendered, Mitanni Yanev had the audacity to demand an audience. Being the gracious Archon we are, we obliged. What the good captain knew, we now know. Yes, and that old codger put up quite a fight on the way out. Almost turned himself into a puddle to escape our interrogations. He's not the last of the Tidecasters, though. At the time of his death, there was another. A woman named Ebb. We believe she is one of the mages assisting these Oathbreakers. Oh, Ash, old boy. If you're going to have a little sob every time one of your nieces or nephews dies to the Tearsman, perhaps we should have Siren sing you some calming lullabies to help you cope with your grief. Bribery? But we paid you after you helped us. You law pups are so hard to figure out sometimes. How wonderful you could join us, Quakebringer, Executioner of Cairn. You grace us with your presence. He's hoping you have another edict for bringing childish Archons to heel. Ah, the fire starter has arrived. Welcome, welcome. Our agents tell us such lovely stories of what you did at the Vellum Citadel. Have you come bearing another fragment of Kairos' wrath in tow? Ah, the Stormcaller. Conveniently late once more. Our eyes and ears tell us you come bearing an edict. The anticipation is killing us. Do not think for a moment that you can give us orders, maggot. Not unless you wish to discover new ways of feeling pain. And before we forget, we have a debt to settle. Last year, when our warriors got confused about supply lines, so kind of you to understand how things get muddled in the fog of war. And lest we forget, we owe you a debt, Stormcaller. Last year, our spies in Stalwart were falsely accused of siding with the locals. Had you not been there to weigh in, justice would no doubt have gone awry. Before we go, you are owed payment, Firestarter. Our spies at the Vellum Citadel were nearly cut down by the disfavored. They have you to thank for their lives. Here is a taste of our gratitude. And perhaps, if you continue to show proper fairness to the chorus, we will look past your cruel decision to label our conscripts and spies in Starward as enemies. Every Fatebinder has their bad calls, even our beloved Stormcaller. And, Fatebinder, one last thing. We still haven't forgotten how you handed over our agents to the disfavored just before the burning library sparked into being. We would be a fool to believe that Tunon sent us an impartial Fatebinder, but prove us wrong. Prove us wrong. How wonderful you could join us, Quakebringer, Executioner of Cairn. You grace us with your presence. He's hoping you have another edict for bringing childish Archons to heel.